understand what mass deportation is?
No.
It's
We're
everybody.
talking-
You guys read up on the Project 2025?
That
please?
doesn't exist, honey.
You are so misinformed. It is ridiculous.
What do the Mexicans say about all the people that are coming in? Rapists, they are literally stealing jobs.
They're stealing what job?
Mexican jobs.
They expect government checks.
No.
They expect healthcare. They expect food. Back in the day, it was way different. You had to fight to get what you want.
What ethnicity are you?
I'm Mexican and Peruvian.
And what ethnicity are you?
Mexican Peruvian.
Right. Really hope that things go your way because you guys
They
are so
will.
stupid.
Wow. That is a complex tapestry of cognitive dissonance coming from a gay Mexican-American immigrant. Welcome to my series where Trump supporters F around and find out in real time. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment if you want more. And starting off, we have Trump supporters in North Carolina. Today, Republicans and President-elect Musk just blocked $9.8 billion in disaster relief that both businesses and residents of the state desperately needed after damage from Hurricane Helene greatly impacted the state's economy. And in case you were wondering, still no progress on those grocery prices, as MAGA supporters now worried about rising prices are scrambling to stock up before the tariffs take effect.
The fact that Donald Trump is doing to his supporters everything that they complain that the Democrats are doing to black folks, there's certain things that are so rich that you cannot not laugh at it. The fact that the presidency didn't even start yet, and there's already so much drama, like, I can't even imagine what 2025 looked like. And the fact that Trump is sitting there like, guys, I can't do this, and I promised you, like, come on, like, you didn't believe this, did you? Like, oh my God. You can't, I'm sorry, it's hilarious. It is hilarious.
So my MAGA work buddies have been oddly quiet. I don't think they have said Donald Trump's name in 2 weeks. I haven't heard them saying anything political. Nothing. Zippo. Zero. The last thing I heard was one guy saying he was going to go to the inauguration. That was weeks ago. So I don't know what's going on. But, yeah, quiet.
A lot of people are actually noticing this. So much so that in the Ask Politics subreddit, this person asked, have the Trump supporters around you gotten quiet? Mine have suddenly lost interest in discussing politics, or egg prices, or wars. As the inauguration nears, they've pretty much gone silent and deep. We got one day of God gave us Trump back, then nothing. Especially as the cabinet nominees have been announced. With this person replying, Republicans do best as the loud out-of-power minority party. They can constantly complain that everything is bad and not have to fix it. Once they win an election, they have to actually do their job, and we see their ideas fail. So yeah, my conservative coworkers are very quiet. This is so true. The MAGA Republican movement is the political embodiment of the dog chasing the car. They've caught the car, and we're all about to see just how clueless they are about what to do with it now.
Welcome to today's segment of F Around and Find Out. I've shared with you guys that I live in a predominantly white, ultra-conservative community that most would consider Trump country. Many of my friends are business owners, mostly in the trades such as floor contractors, roofing contractors. However, the vast majority of their skilled labor are immigrants. Undocumented immigrants on top of that. I previously shared that my friend had called and said that he didn't believe that Trump and immigration were going to deport the immigrants who were out here working hard and taking care of their families. He felt like that they were only going to deport the immigrants who were committing crimes. And I shared with him, this is why it's important that people actually do their homework. Don't just read headlines or just trust everything that Trump says. Anyway, my friend had a metal roof install that needed to get done. They needed to meet a deadline for a particular client. Unfortunately, when they got to the job site, none of their roof installers were actually there. Know why they weren't at the job site? Because they were being picked up by ICE at the gas station down the road where they go every morning to fuel up and get prepared for the day's work. So of course I asked him, what are you going to do now? He's like, we have no idea. We're calling an emergency meeting now to see who we can hire to come do the job. I said, well, bud, I hate to tell you so. The gringos in our communities aren't learning these skilled trades. Too many of them out there doing meth and fetty to even think about learning how to do any of these jobs. My other friend said, you'd have to pay me $500 to $1,000 a day to do that job. I said, good luck with that. Y'all are officially effing around and finding out.
Thoughts and tariffs? Shop my line below. The government shutdown is well on its way as a bill proposed by Elon Musk and Mike Johnson has officially failed the House of Representatives, with both Republicans and Democrats voting against the bill. We are now just hours away from a government shutdown that will make it harder to travel, furlough thousands of federal employees, and put your benefits on the chopping block for a period of time. The bill proposed by Elon Musk and Mike Johnson cut a number of critical programs in the original negotiated bill between Republicans and Democrats and needed a 2/3 majority in the House to pass. It's very clear that we have President Musk right now, a South African billionaire, whose ghoulish grip won't let up.
The immigrants marching to the Capitol to ask Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for some help. I'm sorry, y'all, but y'all asking the wrong people. Y'all should be asking y'all family members, y'all friends who went in their voting booth and voted for Trump. I'm sorry. It's nothing more Democrats can do. They already elected Trump to get y'all out of here. So don't be mad at us. Don't be mad at Biden. Don't be mad at Kamala. Be mad at y'all family members. March to their house. Y'all know who it is because it was 60% Latino men who did, so y'all know where they at.
Don't go crying to Joe now. Don't go crying to Joe now. Don't go march on the Capitol now. It's over with. We told y'all what was going to happen. Y'all sat up here and overwhelmingly voted for this fascist who told you exactly what he was going to do. And now you want to come up here and ask Biden for help. Nah, it's over with, buddy. That boat has sailed already. Not only did y'all try to put down anybody on the left that was telling you to vote for Kamala Harris to have protections against this mass deportation that Trump openly said that he was going to do, full-throated this entire election, and even made advocacy groups, with Latinos for Trump and all this other shit because you guys wanted to be the quote-unquote good minority. And when black folks is telling you they're not going to pick you, that they just want your vote, like Trump said multiple times, I don't care about you, I just care about your vote. Y'all didn't want to take what we were saying seriously at all. And now it's trying to find out season. And you guys have found out, and you finding out in the worst way. Because no, y'all didn't want to take Trump seriously. Y'all thought Trump was just playing. Y'all thought Trump was just on some antics or whatever. Y'all thought this Project 2025 was just a joke. And then when they all came out the day after the election and said, oh yeah, Project 2025 is real, and he started adding people to his administration that were co-authors and writers of Project 2025, which he got on stage and lied and said that he knew nothing about. Y'all didn't want to take that seriously. Well, now look, we told you to listen. You didn't want to. So you might as well start packing your bags, getting your families prepared for that very long trip back to wherever the you came from, because he's going to make sure that he does it. We tried to tell you what you was doing by getting in bed with these people, and y'all laughed us out the room. So don't go crying to Joe now. Don't go waving the white flag now. Stand on it.
And even more bad news for Texas, continuing the trend of schools being shut down in Republican states. In the past couple days, dozens of Dallas, Texas schools are being slated for closure, even with the state of Texas having a $20 billion surplus that they could inject into the school system at literally any time, as seen here. They still voted to close dozens of schools due to a lack of funding, or so they say. Now you know that every Republican in that school board meeting was crying like they had no idea that these were the monsters that they've been waiting for. But this is okay. I mean, it's okay when the ire is turned towards immigrants or women or people of color and all the other things that they hate. It's always shock Pikachu face when it's turned back on them. And this is just the first part of it. I truly hope that Texas Republicans get everything they voted for.
I was at the grocery store and I was talking to the lady in front of me in line. The cashier was ringing up her stuff and she was watching her total go up. She goes, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. And I said, I know, everything is so expensive. And she goes, it's just ridiculous. And I was like, yep. And then she goes, she got real quiet. She goes, I can't believe they lied. And I was like, oh my gosh, who lied? I love this. Who lied? Did somebody at the grocery store lie? She goes, Donald Trump and all the Republicans, they lied. They said everything was going to be less expensive, more affordable. Groceries would be cheaper, gas would be cheaper, living expenses for the average American would be cheaper. I was like, she goes, but they lied. It's not true. I was like, yeah. And I told her, I said, I would have told you before you ever voted that he was lying and that wouldn't ever come true. But you probably wouldn't have listened to me. And she goes, you're right. I probably wouldn't have. I was like, what? And she just goes, I feel awful. I feel awful that I voted for him. I feel like I let myself down. I feel like I let my family down. I feel like I let my kids down. And I was like, hey, I get it. I really do. It's so easy to beat yourself up over choices that you've made, but you got to give yourself some grace. You know better, you do better, and that's all you could do, She just goes, yeah, you're right. And she goes, I wish there was a lemon law for voting. And I go, oh, you know what? I wish there was too, because I guarantee you half the folks that voted for him would have returned that right to the voter dealership. Right on back to the voter dealership. She goes, you're probably right. I just am so frustrated. Because if they just would have done their research, if they would have listened to a voice outside, the little conservative bubble, maybe they would have been like, oh, maybe I should look into that. Not like openly just like, oh, I'm going to disregard everything I believe and I'm going to go with that. But like maybe like plant a seed, you know, to like look into things for themselves, use Google, find some information, you know, outside of like whoever was talking to them, you know, through the TV, through the phone, through the news, whatever. They just would have like, anyway, it's so frustrating. But you know, they're realizing that they made a mistake, which is great. It's just a little too late. But I hope, right, that it's a good learning experience for them and that they take that into their midterm elections, right? And they vote according to like what they've actually looked into and pick people who would actually benefit them and their families the most, right? Instead of just voting red or blue, we vote for somebody who would actually benefit the majority of Americans, right? So they're realizing it's just too late.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. And don't forget to click the bell so you can be notified when I post new videos.
You want to know what's the most ironic thing about this whole fuck around and find out situation? Is that the people who voted red, all you Republicans, y'all voted not because you thought he was going to make your life easier, but because you knew he was going to make our lives harder. See, if we just go back in history, every single time figures out a way to advance socially, economically, politically, it doesn't matter. Every single time that we figure out a way to advance, what happens? More stipulations are put into place, more laws get passed, there's always a moving of the goalpost. And you know what really pisses them off is the fact that we keep figuring out a way to get to the goal. We keep figuring out a way to get to the goal. No matter what they do, we keep figuring out a way. But here's the thing about it. All them stipulations, all those laws being passed, it still affects them. It affects them. And now it's harder for their kids to do things. It's harder for their grandkids to do things. They want it to only affect us. And so they were hoping that putting Trump in office was going to be that final stipulation that can basically make America great again. You understand, where the white people can just always take the scenic route. You understand, they could always get the shortcut while we have to go through a back alley. That's the thing. But see, where you guys really around and found out is that there's a new class system that's being put into place, and it has nothing to do with your skin complexion. It has nothing to do with your race. It has everything to do with your tax bracket. Your tax bracket. And you guys weren't paying attention to that. You thought that your proximity to whiteness or you actually being white was going to save you, like it's always done time and time again. However, President Elon Musk and Vice President Trump do not give a about you. Even the people that were making $100,000 a year who voted for him. I have family members who voted for him because they want to be rich. And they thought that they were going to get a tax cut. Instead, you're paying more on top of the taxes that he has everybody paying that was put into office and put into our government in 2019. A lot of you guys think that we're under Kamala and Biden's, and no, we're not. We're under Trump, baby. Still. Everybody complaining about this economy, we're under Trump's economy from his last term. So all of you who voted knowing that he was not going to make your life easier, but were counting on the fact that you thought that he was going to make our lives harder, is really feeling the ramifications behind around and find out. Even you boomers who are on fixed incomes is feeling it. Y'all feeling it. And guess what? Us brown and black people, we're used to this shit. We used to this shit. We're going to complain, we're going to cry, but guess what? We're going to figure it out, because that's what we always do. You guys, though, y'all never had a backup plan. Y'all never had to find out.